What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Too Generic. I just realized my wall isn't really covering and being a wall too well.
The half a wall.
Half a wall right
Oh.
now. But I feel like half a man. And this is why we come to you with an emergency pod.
Oh, yeah.
We have lost our first baseman from 2021, Bobby Dalbec.
Bobby Dalbec.
Rich, we're here today in the remembrance of the great Bobby Dalbec.
Yep.
He once was the Rookie of the Month in 2021 in August, which is, the beginning stages of the season. And he was coming out as this bright young rookie, and we were just amazed at Bobby Dalbec. Like, I couldn't be more like, whoa, in 2021. It reminds me of a little bit of Benintendi. How excited I was for Andrew Benintendi, that left fielder. We loved him. I know you loved him because he was a lefty.
And look at him.
Right fielder that was a lefty? Is that what it was?
No, he was a left fielder that was
He was a left fielder. He was a lefty left fielder. Okay.
Lefty left fielder.
We loved Benintendi when he came out his rookie year. We thought he was going to be great. Dalbec is just another one of those guys. So before the pod, we've seen the announcement that the Red Sox cut him. He's kind of been in the minors the past 2 years. But, I mean, he's made a couple plate appearances this season. Have you seen him at any at-bats?
He hasn't done much. In the few at-bats he's had. He hasn't played for the Red Sox since late June.
Yes, he has one home run this season in comparison to being a rookie and hitting 25. I still can't believe it. The more and more I look back at his stats, he's played 5 years in the majors. He has 47 home runs. That means 25. More than half of his home runs came in one season.
Yeah, and he came up in 2020, and he looked pretty promising because he had 8 homers in 23 games. So you were like, all right.
And he didn't count as a rookie then.
Yeah, this kid might do something.
Right, and then the next year he counts as a rookie because that's the way baseball is. You have to play a certain amount of games to be considered a rookie.
Yeah.
If not, you're still considered like a minor. And then that's when usually Drake will sign you. But moving on from there, career batting average of 222, but this year it was like 135.
Yep.
But yeah, that was the great Bobby Dalbec, a 4th-round draft pick.
But he's great with the Woo Sox. He's great in the minors.
Oh, I can imagine.
He's so good in the minors. Like the Red Sox had traded for this guy Rusney Castillo, won MVP for the minor league team. We got
Castillo did.
Yeah, he won MVP for the minor league Red Sox team. We have some great minor leaguers. Got a great farm system, but when they come up to the MLB, I don't know what happens to them.
The pitching, the everything. Man, I haven't really been a true Red Sox fan. I want to tell you, them trading or not signing Mookie Betts, like they lost a fan. Straight up.
It was terrible.
We got through this big era of, David Ortiz basically broke the curse. He reversed the curse, right? Him, Manny Ramirez, and everybody else that kind of pitched in. Michael Lowell, Josh Beckett. I can name these names forever. Trot Nixon, my boy Trot.
Jonathan Papelbon.
Fucking R.I.P. Tim Wakefield. Like these guys actually put in the work. You know what I'm saying? And they reversed the curse. For 81 years or 86 years, we had the curse of the Bambino.
Yeah, it was definitely 80 plus.
I think it was 86 years was the curse of the Bambino. In 2004, they reversed the curse. They win again. And then we lose David Ortiz. He retires, but we have Mookie Betts as like this new up-and-comer. He's dope. Everyone in the city loved Mookie. Immediately he hit as a rookie. Everybody liked Mookie. His personality was cool. He was a professional bowler at the same time. Like in college, he was a Division I bowler, and then he was bowling in the summertime or something right before the season, and everyone was like, this is what this guy is doing. But at the same time, I really liked that about him. That he was multifaceted and he had different interests, and he was that good at bowling, something that I don't really care about. But it made me care about it because I know bowling's hard. It's boring, whatever. It's not the flashiest sport, but it's still difficult. It still takes a level of talent and discipline and to learn technique and, positioning, forming your body, all that stuff. It's very difficult. So when I hear this guy is a professional baseball player and he's also damn near professional bowler, I already knew this guy was going to be a Hall of Famer because that's next level hand-eye coordination. It's next level athleticism, as funny as that sounds. And it just is. And look at where it's gone. Look at what that hand-eye coordination has brought. You know, now the Dodgers are killing it. They got now the best player of his generation playing with him.
Yeah, they got a super team over there now.
And he's doing better than Mike Trout, and they basically play the same position. So Mike Trout couldn't win with Ohtani, but Mookie could. Right? So it's
yeah. But that's
because Mookie doesn't get as hurt as Mike Trout does. Mike Trout's inconsistent. As great as Mike Trout has been his whole career, he gets hurt in the worst times when you really need him.
Yeah, he's been hurt.
40 home runs in the first 100 games, and then just, you know, he's got a pulled hammy, and he can't do anything now.
Yeah, he's been banged up the last 3 or 4 seasons.
Right, so
because it seemed like he was on his way to being one of the best of all time with
Ted Williams talks.
Yeah, like with how he was playing, with how many, the home runs he was hitting, but it was just the team he's on, they don't win anything. It doesn't like, that's the thing with baseball. It's totally a team game. You can't have just Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, even if Ohtani's doing both pitching and hitting.
They could be the best players of the past 20 years are on the same team and they can't win.
Yeah, and if you look at all the MVPs and the championship series games and the World Series games, it's never the guy you'd expect. It's always just random people. Like when the Red Sox won the World Series in 2018, Steven Pierce won the MVP for World Series, and Jackie Bradley Jr. won ALCS MVP. So it's just like, it's always, it shows you how much of a team sport it is. It doesn't matter that it's just you have 3 or 4 players. It's not going to be nearly enough. You need to have pitching. You need to have, your bullpen. And right now the Dodgers seem like they have all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing great. Everywhere I go now in LA, everyone's always talking about Shohei and Mookie, and kids in school all have Mookie Betts jerseys. And I'm like, oh, man, he was on my team. Mookie was my favorite player. He's still my favorite because, shit, who else am I going to like in the MLB? Like, we don't even got Verdugo anymore.
He sucks.
Where's Doogie?
He's with the Yankees.
I know he's with the Yankees now. But
I'm glad he's not on the Red Sox. He's terrible.
Yeah, he wasn't doing too hot. He had a good start to his career. A lot of guys in baseball, they come in hot, and teams try to ride that hot hand. But yeah, Doogie, I guess he wasn't the best.
He was part of the Mookie Betts trade.
Yeah, that's why I like Doogie, because I'm like, all right, well, I lost Mookie Betts. Let me start rooting for somebody, and now they send him to the Yankees.
Yeah, the only good thing about that contract was you got rid of the David Price contract. That was the only thing because he was getting paid a lot. So that was the only positive to it. But other than that, then they traded Benintendi away, and he was kind of struggling towards the end of his Red Sox career. So I don't really hate that trade. Mm-hmm. They traded away Hunter Renfroe, who led the MLB in outfield assists, I think, in 2021, had 30-plus homers, 90-plus RBIs to get back Jackie Bradley Jr., who's always been a horrible offensive player. One of the best center fielders I think I've ever watched in my lifetime. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. But offensively, he doesn't do anything. Like he'll have a good month. He'll go on a good month stretch, and that's about it for him. So the Red Sox front office has just done some head scratching things.
Yeah, I mean we got Devers, which I always love Devers.
Yeah, they finally signed Devers to an extension.
Right, and we finally signed him. It was like we had to hold their feet to the fire to sign him.
Yeah, and then they didn't sign back Bogarts, so then he went to San Diego. Yep. And Xander Bogaerts, one of the more consistent hitters. I mean, since he came up, I think whenever he came up, 2012, 2013, he's always hit 280 or better. He's just been such a consistent hitter for the Red Sox, about 20 homers a season, and they couldn't get him back. They don't really have any good pitching. And then you traded away Chris Sale, which I guess makes sense with he hasn't really done anything since 2019.
Right.
And, this year with the Braves, he's probably going to win Cy Young. And he's first and he has the best ERA. He's got the most wins. He's got the most strikeouts. He's pretty much running away with it in the National League to win Cy Young. You traded him for a young shortstop in Vaughn Grissom, and Vaughn Grissom was pretty good with Atlanta. They just didn't have enough room for him because they have so much young talent on that team, and he's been for most of the season too. So it's just nothing has worked out. They signed Trevor Story to that big deal. He hurt his shoulder earlier this season. He was hurt. He's been hurt a lot since he came back.
He's supposed to be out for the year, but apparently he's playing.
No, he just came back yesterday.
Yeah, he just came back.
Yeah, he just came back yesterday. So the Red Sox have just done some head scratching.
There's a little bit of luck though, because he was supposed to be out for the year.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good thing, and you could try to make a playoff push. I think Boston's still 4.5 games back of a third and final wild card spot, and they're way out of it to win the division. They're behind 2 teams in the Yankees and the Orioles, so they're not going to do that.
Yeah, they're 10 behind each.
Yeah, so they have no shot. So they'll try to get the wild card or something. But maybe designating Dalbec for an assignment is a nice step forward. They designated Rich Hill for assignment, which is great too. He's horrible. I don't know how he's still in the MLB. He's 44 years old and he's got like an over 4 ERA for his career. Makes no sense to me. And he was actually good. He was good his first outing. He was good his first 2 outings. His last 2 were horrible. So
Rich Hill, like that guy was facing Pedro in the 90s. Like, why is he still pitching?
And he's not had a good career at all.
No, he's never been a good pitcher.
His numbers have been horrible from when he was 20.
He must be a vibes guy.
I don't know what he is.
In the locker room, the coaches love him.
He's got a career 4.01 ERA. It's just
horrific. You can't have over 4 ERA for pitching over 20 years. That's crazy. Rich Hill, give it up.
He's played with Boston, Los Angeles, Cubs, Minnesota, Mets, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, Oakland, San Diego, Angels, Cleveland, Yankees, and Baltimore.
Was that 12 teams? 11 teams?
3, 6, 9, 13. 13 teams. 13 teams in 20 seasons.
Good for him. That's a lot of checks to cash.
It is a lot of checks. He probably got a decent amount of money.
Yeah, I know, right? He's probably got Jamal Murray money.
If this was it, he's got money.
He'll be all right. Rich Hill, he's gonna retire on a rich mound of money.
Bars.
All right. Enough MLB. It's probably the most MLB we've ever done.
Yeah.
Sorry if we've tricked you with emergency pod. Red Sox cut Bobby Dalbec, but we're done with the baseball talk. First 10 minutes, bait and switch. I don't
really want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the Red Sox anyway. Over the last 3 years, it hasn't been fun.
It's been rough. It's been really rough.
Just mid. They're not even that bad. It's just they're average. They're just so average.
Try to come out with the Boston strong, the colors.
Yeah, I'm not strong. Can't be Boston strong this year.
Boston strong this year. It's hard to be, but yeah. I tried to pull out the baby blue and the yellow to try to bring some life to the Sox, but I don't know if it's happening. What about the UFC? Did you watch the fight night last night?
I did.
All right. So I didn't watch too much of the prelim. I missed, I want to say, all of it. I flipped for the Lima one real quick, but then it went to decision. Like I tried to watch like a round, but I was doing something. And then I did tune in for the start of the main card. Yeah, the first one I wanted to point out was it was a third fight on the, I don't know if it was considered early prelims or it's just prelims, was the Jacqueline, I don't know how to say her name, Amorim against Vanessa Demopoulos. Demopoulos was saying that the girl grabbed her glove, which looked like she kind of did, and it set her up for an armbar. So she was protesting before she even got the armbar off, and then she was yelling at the referee after the fight. So she kind of. Wow, I didn't see that at all. So yeah, from what you're saying, if she called for the glove grab prior to it being locked in, it should have been a reset or something. Yeah, it seemed like that, and she just got away with it. And Demopoulos kept protesting after the fight and whatever, and was yelling, but to no avail. Right. Did you see last night? Sean Brady got hit. It was like multiple cup checks in a row. Yeah. And then Herb Dean went to go split them up and everything. And I thought he was going to do it again. It almost looked like it. Like he almost had muscle memory to do the same thing he did to Pereira and Jamal Hill. He almost did it again last night. Yep. And then he remembered. He took an extra 1 second. He probably should have took a second and a half. He didn't even do it like to the best, but he held it for like a little bit longer than he did the last time. And I think he learned a little lesson from it. Yeah, let me not break up this welterweight main event instead of – but he doesn't stop a lightweight championship fight. Right. But yeah, I didn't catch that one. But that sucks. That really is. I don't like those type of decisions. Especially we were talking about 2 weeks ago how blatant the fence grabbing has gotten.
Oh, it was bad last night too.
Right, and it was bad last night, and we keep talking about it every week how bad the fence grabbing is. And then you have this girl saying, "Look, she's grabbing my glove too. She's grabbing the fence. She's grabbing the glove." Ref, something.
They either say stop, or they swipe their hand away, or they just miss it. That's what it's been pretty much. You haven't lost your position. They haven't stood you up. They haven't taken away a point. They just they say stop, or they don't see it, or I don't know.
Yeah, they haven't been enforcing it the way they should, and I agree. I've been noticing it, and even I wish I would have seen the glove. Yo, shout out to Hawk. Hawk's in the chat.
Shout out Hawk. Shout out Hawk.
Shout out Hawk Neezy. But yeah, if that's what they're gonna do, literally the girl calls for the glove grab, looks at the ref, and the ref just goes, "Are you tapping? You're in an arm bar now. You lost. And I don't have to do my job anymore. You lost."
Yeah, and
that's not how it should be.
Yeah, and it was before she even had gotten the armbar, and then she got her, and you could just tell she was, because there was enough time for her to get the armbar off, and you knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that she was going to get the armbar and tap her out, and she did.
Right, but it is tough because it's like, are you not allowed to grab the hand, or you just can't lift the glove, like pull on the outer part, like on a finger hole? You can't pull on a finger hole, but can you put your hand on it?
Yeah,
like there is a little gray area, but when you feel that there are fingers under your glove, that's when it's actually an illegal move, and that's what she was doing.
I think that's what I saw, but she was saying that she just grabbed her wrist, but I thought I seen fingers inside the glove.
Right, because there's a distinction of even I've always said this in football.
No
face mask.
I got it, go.
It's all good. I'll go on a little rant. I got it. So in football, face mask, I think you could stiff arm a face mask, which I believe is legal. But some refs, there's just such gray area, and as soon as they see a hand near it, some refs blow the whistle. Same thing with the UFC. As soon as some refs see you with a hand on a glove, on your opponent's glove, they're going to call it for you tampering with a glove potentially, of you maybe pulling a strap. And now the glove is loose, and now you can't fight like that. So same thing in the NFL. This isn't a face mask, but the second you go like this, you grip that face mask. Now it's a face mask penalty. So there is a little gray area. It's just hard. You want that ref to be able to see through the gray area and know the rules immediately. And they didn't call that. So that's unfortunate. But I'm going to move up. The Lima fight was decent. I kind of knew he was going to win. Lima's been killing it in the undercards, and it looks like they're building him well. But this guy, Matthew Christopher Schnell, felt really bad for him, got tapped out by Durden, and he had 3 different fights. This was super short notice for him. He was supposed to fight Joshua Vaughn. That got canceled. And then they rescheduled it last week with Alessandro Costa. That gets canceled. Now he's scheduled to fight Durden, and he gets tapped out in the second round, like 30 seconds in. That was tough. You don't know who you're fighting. It's kind of a weird situation, but I mean, you got to be ready. It's the UFC. You're fighting somebody. So regardless, you got to stay in fighting shape and be prepared. But each person comes with their own unique fight style. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses and techniques and everything else. So yeah, he had a lot to prepare for, a lot to change and be flexible, and yeah, better fighter won that one. Trevor Peek took the L. Honestly, I was kind of surprised. I thought this was going to be a fight Trevor Peek could win, but he just got taken down too much. 9 out of 18 takedowns, 50% takedown rate, where Trevor Peek only got 0 for 1 for takedowns. He's not really much of a wrestler, but I thought the hands would have been enough for the wrestler, but it wasn't. From there, Steve Garcia flatlining Kyle Nelson on the ground, had him down, pinned against the fence, and was just teeing off on him, and then the refs call it. My favorite fight of the night was Jessica Andrade versus the Natalia Silva fight. That was incredible. Like, probably the best fight of the night, in my opinion. I don't know if anyone else would vote anything else, but my God, Andrade was like landing bombs on Silva, and Silva's landing bombs back and piecing her up. Like Andrade, she was getting pieced up. It was weird to see her get pieced up. She also didn't look as big. Like I know she's dropping down, going to 125 Andrade, and like that is something to her body structure. But like with Silva's taller than Andrade, and she looked full, like big. So Silva, she might be the next champ. I'll be willing to say that right now. I think Silva could be the next champ. The way she handled Andrade, the way she took those hits and just kept going. She didn't even really get wobbled fully. I would say she got she got hit, but not like she's not stumbling. She didn't get stunned. She felt them. She knows what they are now. She definitely knows what an Andrade left hook feels like. But she's strong enough to eat those and keep going and punch her back and give her a left hook and a right back. So I'm a big fan of Silva and what she could do in her future. So we'll see who she gets lined up with next and what she'll be ranked after Tuesday, because that's when the rankings come out after the weekend. So Tuesday, we'll see where Silva is ranked. That should be pretty cool. Breaking news, Dak Prescott becomes highest paid player in NFL history, 4-year, $240 million contract. Every time I think of Dak Prescott, I just think of him getting knocked out at a tailgate and him just being asleep on the concrete. How you get knocked out by a fan? How you let a fan walk up to you and just punch you and knock you out as an NFL quarterback? Shouldn't you have boys around you? How did your boys – nobody backed him up? That was crazy. Still the craziest video I've ever seen. But, hey, now he's the richest guy in NFL history for never even winning a conference championship game. But he's now the highest paid player ever. You just got to shout out to the people who came before him, and that's the truth. NFL wouldn't be there without Brady. You know what I'm saying? Without Brady leading the way, without Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, and all the other former pro NFL players. Breaking news, Rich. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah. What's up?
Dak Prescott has just become the highest paid player in NFL history.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's horrible.
Yep. $240 million, 4 years. That's $60 million a year to be like mediocre. That's kind of crazy. He's never won anything.
The thing is, he's a great regular season quarterback. He's like Kirk Cousins. They're both great regular season quarterbacks, and then in the postseason, they just don't show up.
Yep.
And then they gave CeeDee Lamb a huge contract, which is well deserved. He had one of the best single seasons last year in the NFL.
CeeDee was pretty solid. I actually, on Prize Picks, I put that he would get a rushing or receiving touchdown. It was over a half. So I just took it. And it was like a red demon. You know what I'm saying? There's like angels and demons. And it's like if it's green, that means it's likely to happen. If it's red, you get higher odds. And it was like one touchdown. I'm like, this dude just got paid. He's like,
oh, that's easy money, I would think.
Yeah. So I didn't think it was that risky compared to what they were saying. Like you could take, I don't even think there was an over-under on it. It was literally like, I think it was just a red demon for 0.5. And I'm like, all right, well, if he scores, whatever, I'll take those odds.
Yeah, but maybe they're taking into consideration that he really hasn't. I don't know how much he's practiced with the Cowboys or
true.
If he's really not 100%, maybe he's not, fully healthy. He goes out, hurts his hamstring or something because he hasn't been practicing or he really isn't in that good a shape.
Took a chance.
But
they were doing, what's his name? Who's the quarterback that paints his nails?
Not a bad Caleb Williams.
So Caleb Williams, they had him over a half a yard. So I did over a half a yard and then CeeDee Lamb 1 touchdown. I'm like,
those are the ones that are going to get you. Those seem like the easiest ones.
They really do.
That's something you put $50 on or something.
$50.
Well, it seems like easy money. You would think.
I know it does. It really does seem like easy money. We'll have to see where it turns out. I did a lot of WNBA Prize Picks yesterday.
Yeah, I did a bunch of gambling for the football because football's on at 1. I haven't done any WNBA stuff. I think it starts at 3, so I'll do it if I do good with the NFL.
I gotta see what I did. I forgot what I did. Now that I was trying to tell you about the prize pick, and I had it in my memory, and then I'm like, wait. I did one other. I think I did one other NFL line. Surprisingly, one of my lineups. I did a Justin Jefferson. It was the same thing. Red Demon for receiving a rushing touchdown.
For one?
Yeah.
Just one?
Just one. Red Demon. 2 Red Demons, you see?
Yeah, he doesn't
Justin
have
Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, the only thing, he doesn't have a good quarterback.
Yeah, but for 1 touchdown each, I was like, let's go. I did Skylar Diggins for 1-3. She hit 3. Copper killed me, though. So, like, I did Griner. Look at this. 17 points. I had the under. She only scored 4. But Copper killed me. 19.5, and she got 11.
Yeah, she hasn't played well since the Olympic break.
I just know that the Mercury can't score. So I took the under for her, but I know Copper is the only person. She's 3rd in the league in scoring right now, even on the worst offense in the league.
Yep.
And I think she gets like 23 a game. So for her to have 19.5, I guess that should have been a sign for me to know, like, they're 4 points under her average right now. This is obviously what it is tonight.
But also, Seattle has a really good defense.
That too. I mean, plus they got Gabby Williams now, which adds another level of defense because Gabby's a beast.
Because you have the defense in the paint with Ezzy Magwar and Nneka Ogwumike, and now on the perimeter you have Skylar Diggins and Gabby Williams.
But see, with Copper's somebody who drives and goes to the rim. So I'm thinking foul trouble. I'm thinking free throws. I'm finding ways in my head for Copper to get to 20 points. Also, she takes about like 6 threes a game. She takes like 5.5 threes.
Yeah, I've stayed away from her with the points.
I know Copper's so hit or miss because then she'll have 11 points, and then tomorrow she'll have 36, and that's why she averages 22.
Yep.
She's a little giving Jeff Green vibes.
Yeah, that's why I'm not touching it.
Yeah, but I love Copper too much. But another Chicago Sky wing that I love, Marina Mabry. How are you feeling Marina Mabry's doing on the Sun? Because I'm loving it. Like, I'm going crazy. I'm screaming Mabry. My girlfriend probably is fed up with hearing me scream about Marina Mabry, but I don't care. I'm loving every minute.
Oh, it's great. It's great. And we talked about it last week or the week before that it's the piece they needed off the bench. They don't really have much off the bench. And in the starting lineup, they don't have a lot of players that can go out and get their own bucket. And I think she's that player.
She blocked the hell out of somebody. The last game, she blocked the hell out of somebody, and they didn't see it coming because they hit a double move in the post, and Mabry was the help defender. And that was the one thing I said that people sleep on Mabry. They forget what Mabry's built like. They forget she's 6 feet tall with a 6'5" wingspan. She's got a little meat on her, and she's lanky. But you don't see that she's lanky because she's not chubby, but she's got a little bit of size. She's kind of like Luka.
Yeah,
she's got a little meat on her, and you don't realize Luka's lanky. He's 6'7", 6'8" or whatever, but his wingspan is 7'2". But he's a bigger builded guy, so you don't see that he's got long arms. That's the advantage that Luka has over everybody else that people don't peep.
Yeah, and she's not, and they're both not particularly quick, but they always get to their spots.
They always get to their spots. They always beat the defense. They somehow beat the defender and blow past you. Mabry, I love what she's doing. She's breaking in there a Steve Nash bag. She drives to the cup, goes under the basket, and finds somebody, kicks out. You know who she always finds? Bree Jones. Bree Jones gets left naked at the free throw line every single time. She drives to the cup, looks for Bree Jones because the center always cheats. So the center comes, helps on the double. She kicks to Bree Jones. Bree Jones just has this little 10-footer to knock down every time.
And Jones has been eating in the paint. She's been eating Olympic, especially last 2 or 3 games. She's been eating in the paint. It's crazy too because she's not really that quick. She's a little undersized. She's just coming off a torn Achilles, and she's playing like this. It's great to see.
Yeah. Another one, deceptively long arms. Because, everyone calls skinny players lanky.
Yeah.
But they forget about the big guys or the big girls who are also lanky, but you only think about them as just being strong. You only think about them as not getting bodied off their spot. But you don't talk about the length of Brianna Jones. You know what I'm saying? Or Marina Mabrey never gets talked about. But long players.
But nobody's bodying Brianna Jones, though.
Oh, no. Nobody's bodying Brianna Jones.
Nobody's bodying. No chance.
No chance. The only way you're beating Brianna Jones is if you get her to jump on your first attempt. If you pump fake her and get her to jump, she doesn't have the speed to recover. She doesn't have a second jump to catch you, especially coming off the Achilles this year. And, yeah, she just doesn't have that speed to readjust her body. That's the only way you beat her. And, like, I've seen, like, maybe, like, Aaliyah Boston beat her that way with some good footwork and post moves and pump fakes. You know, obviously Asia Wilson beats almost everybody. But yeah, not many people take advantage of Bree Jones because they're not able to. She's smart. She stays down typically. I like everything Bree Jones does. I was reading an article this week, and it was saying Sun are probably the pretenders of the WNBA season this year, that they're not actually contenders, they're pretenders.
Yeah,
I don't think that. I know we haven't had much success in the playoffs. I know we're always number 1 or number 2 in the East. We always kick ass. We get the best seed, and then we lose in the Western Conference Finals. We lose in the finals. We find a way to lose when it matters the most.
It seems like they have a problem with the Liberty and the Aces the last couple of years. Since they've had that kind of, like, when they have to play really good teams, they struggle. When they have to play those top tier teams, they do struggle.
So I'm scared of the Liberty probably more than anybody. The Liberty and the Storm, to me, in my opinion, are scary as hell. Like, we ragdolled the Aces all game, and then they just crawled back. The refs were definitely on their side from the third quarter on. We were up damn near 20 on the Aces. Like, we ran it up on them for a minute.
Yo, hold up. Kendrick is going to do the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
What?
Oh, my God.
Let's go! Drake stands are pissed.
Oh, my God.
They not like us.
All right. I got to gather myself now.
I know. That's great news.
Bro.
That's really great news. Shout out to Kendrick. Good for him. He deserves it.
Yeah, and he puts on crazy performances, too. This is going to be something else. Oh, my.
Yeah, it's going to be dope. The themes, the production, all of it's going to be crazy.
Wow.
They're going to, like, build, like, like the whole set. Like, the set gets crazy. It's going to be cool. I can only imagine.
All right.
All right, what else? Oh, yeah, Storm with Gabby Williams. We haven't really been able to fully talk about it, but my God, she's come to the Storm and really, like, filled it up. She's being her old self while also being the new and improved version of Gabby Williams. She's still being that WNBA dog, probably one of the best athletes that's in the W. Like, no doubt about it. You put her out there and do cone drills, a 40-yard dash, every athletic drill in like an NBA combine. If you had a WNBA combine, Gabby Williams will be at the top of almost every metric.
And she's carrying over the momentum she had, in the Paris Olympics with how well she played. I mean, she was carrying that offense. Not just, I mean, I think the whole team played great defensively, and obviously she played great defensively, but she was really carrying that offense for the most part. And that's why they made it all the way to the gold medal game. And now just taking it over, into Seattle.
But we've watched the WNBA long enough to know that 4 years ago, Gabby Williams was like, if you catch the open three, just take it.
Right.
But it's not like that no more. It's like, if you get the ball, figure something out.
Yeah, she's added that.
Just shoot that open shot. If you're open, they're leaving you open, just shoot it. It's okay. You gotta work on your shot. We're over that stage with Gabby Williams. Like, Gabby Williams is a shooter now. Yep,
she's adding that to her game. That's scary.
Because that was one of the things that was really bad about Gabby Williams. Everything else was good. We were like, yo, she's such a great athlete. Like, how can't she figure some of these things out about the game? But it took for her to actually go to another country, become a leader of a team, and not just getting stuck in that role player mold. And she was kind of there, and you could tell there was more to her game to build on. But she needed to go somewhere and actually, practice, fail, try these things, be a ball handler herself. Now she's come back to the WNBA, and I think she's going to lead her team to a title. Maybe she's not going to be the best player on that team, but now she could bring everything to that team that they need.
Yeah, she'll definitely be a key piece. And we were talking about when we had our preseason predictions, we were talking about the Storm being championship favorites. Yeah. And with Gabby Williams, that certainly makes their case even stronger than it was, because I thought they've had a good case. They've played pretty well this season. I still think they have to get – I don't think Skylar Diggins-Smith is really, that comfortable in the offense. Jewel Lloyd has had an off season, but I don't know. I think they really have something now with Gabby Williams, with adding Gabby Williams.
It's hard for me to say Skylar Diggins isn't feeling the system, though, because last night, if you watched it last night, I do understand that she played the Mercury, and the Mercury, that was a fuck you game to the Mercury.
Yeah.
That's why she went off, and that's why I played her in Prize Picks for everything. I took her assists. I took her threes on a different lineup. I think I showed you the 3-1. I took her assists on another one. I took her points on the other one. I'm like, this is the biggest fuck you game she's ever going to play. And it was.
I've been taking her assists. She
damn near retired for 2 seasons because of the Mercury.
Yeah.
She didn't play because they were upset she got pregnant.
And they wouldn't let her in the facility.
They wouldn't let her in the facility. They turned off her key fob. That's beef, bro. When the place you work for turns off your key fob and says, don't come in no more. Just stay home. We'll pay you. Stay home. That's beef.
Taurasi did that.
Right. Taurasi did that because she was upset because Taurasi was saying that they brought Skylar Diggins in to win a championship. And then since Skylar Diggins wasn't playing, Taurasi's like, no, she's costing me a championship. Fuck her. Keep her out of here. I don't want her back. She's fucking my career up.
Taurasi,
I only got a few years left. Because we know how Taurasi is.
Yep.
But the WNBA is cutthroat. You know what I'm saying? As they say, the NBA is got all these things. We see the W also has some toxicity to it as well. With the Dearica Hamby.
Yeah.
And bro, look when they show. I promise you. Look when they show Asia Wilson highlights. Every 3 are on Hamby. I'm not kidding. I've noticed this. I will not speak on it until I've seen it multiple times. I've seen it multiple times now. Every time they show an Asia Wilson highlight reel, the highlights are on Dearica Hamby. There is a message through the league that the league is siding with the Aces.
Mm-hmm.
As funny as this sounds, I can sound like a conspiracy theorist. All I'm saying is watch when they put Asia Wilson highlights on B-roll. Watch when it goes on TV and who she's scoring on. Oh, hold on. I forgot all about this wall thing. There you go. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's a major contributor. It really is. They're doing it, and they want to bury this story about Hamby because it fucks up a lot of things. Becky Hammon was supposed to be this, the women's coach. She was the first women's coach in the NBA. She's supposed to be Pop. You know what I'm saying? And everything we know about Popovich, he's had gay players and foreign players, and he introduces them to wine and travel, and he's just such this Renaissance man. Mm-hmm. And then you have a woman mistreating another woman because of reproductive right issues, and all it gets really weird because Pop is looked at as the most super liberal. He was fuck Trump, and then Steve Kerr hopped on the bandwagon on the fuck Trump thing, and it became this very divisive political thing. But we know Pop is on the forefront of these type of policies, of this type of thing. And then to hear his protege, who's a girl, be the least representative of women's rights and everything else. She's spazzing on a player for getting pregnant and all sorts of types of shit. It's just weird. And the league's trying to cover it up because they're all about women's rights and my body, my choice. And that's a rhetoric when it's about abortion. But when it's Hamby and it's her body, her choice wanting to get pregnant, that's a problem. And that's an issue to the business. And that's when that's when you find out that it's all lip service. They talk about this shit, but when it comes down to the money, that's more important than the lip service. And they care more about having that player on the court than that player is more in control of her own body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of a hypocrisy that nobody wants to get called out for. But here on Too Generic, we'll call him out.
Hammond was trying to repeat. She was trying to repeat with those chips.
Right. And she put business over this personal thing. And in a way, that's about getting money. It's about her getting re-signed, as a coach, getting another contract. It's self-serving. So what she did was very selfish. And she acted in that way and offended Hamby. And I guess Hamby recorded the call. And everything from there has been what it's been. And now Hamby's on the Sparks doing her thing. And they won't talk about her about being most improved. They won't talk about her doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And people are saying, well, she can't be most improved. She was a 2-time All-Star. But she was a 2-time All-Star coming off the bench on the Aces, playing her role, and she got in through like that way.
And a 2-time Sixth Player of the Year.
Right. And 2-time Sixth Player of the Year, which, got her that name. But now she's over averaging damn near 20 and 10, and she can't get a sniff of any news, anything.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. You just got to realize what it really is. But it's unfortunate to know Becky Hammond's like that. Because she was like the pinnacle of hope for all like women coaches.
Winning at all costs.
Winning at all costs. So she's more of just like this old school dog coach.
Yeah. She's a dog.
She's a dog. She really is. It's kind of crazy. But I mean, I guess that's who Becky Hammond was as a player too. She was a dog. So yeah. I don't think she took shit from anybody. And I mean, that's what got her as far as she did. She led the league in assists, I believe, for at least one season. You got to be a hard-nosed prick if you want to get far in life, and especially in sports. You really got to be like an alpha dog, only care about yourself, because that's the only way you get that good, is being that selfish in life. And that's just the truth.
And now she's been perfect as a coach so far.
And she's been damn near perfect other than that blemish of her, basically lambasting her player for getting pregnant and living her own personal life.
It's a big word.
So, yeah, it's a weird gray area. We root for Hammond. We want Hammond's success. Can we forgive someone for making a mistake?
If she wins the chip.
If she wins it, she's not winning another chip. Asia Wilson's got silver hair.
Oh, yeah. All right. I forgot.
They changed from black and gold to black and silver. They're second place team now.
I forgot about the silver.
The silver. I'm telling you, it's all part of the story.
Oh, man.
What else we got? Oh, yeah. So we got to wrap up to the Rookie of the Year race. Angel Reese is done for the season. She's has a hurt wrist. Not too sure what it is exactly or how it happened. It could have been from holding the mic from her podcast, episode 1.
Yep. Could have torn a ligament or something.
Oh yeah.
Could be bruised.
These mics are heavy, bro. Podcasting's tough.
Yeah.
They don't realize podcast is more dangerous than the game.
Yeah, it's not a game. And she was kind of flexing it at the Sparks game. So she must have heard it there or something, or it's been lingering. I don't know.
Maybe.
We don't know how many podcasts she's done. Maybe she has them in the vault or something. I don't know.
Right. Maybe she's been really putting in the work. Like I said, podcasting's dangerous.
Yeah, because she's not doing it on the court, so she's got to do it somewhere.
She's got to do it somewhere. People were roasting her for the way she was holding the mic, I guess, because it was cordless. It was a Bluetooth mic, but everyone's like she's talking into a microphone that's off. And I don't know. It was just like a funny meme that kind of went around in her comment section. Everyone was just going in on how she was talking to nothing, but then under it, people were like, "Have you ever heard of a Bluetooth mic?" And yeah, that makes sense. But it is funny to see someone talking to an unplugged microphone. It's different when someone has like that little lapel mic that hooks up to their cell phone, and they're like, talking to the mic, doing the street interview with the Hawk Tua girl or whatever. But like when it's like a professional and she's got a mic, but it's not plugged in, it just looks funny. I don't know why. I can't explain it. And I got the joke when they said it. But yeah, shout out to her. She's got her own pod. I guess she's talking about how she only dates basketball players. And
yep, she was saying she stood up for Haley Van Lith, all this.
She stood up for Haley Van Lith.
Yep, because she was the only white girl. So
it was a funny pod. It really was.
I just saw the clips. I'm not gonna watch an entire Angel Reese pod.
I will say, like, I'm never gonna really tune in to the Angel Reese pod like that unless it really gets juicy. She got some good guests or something. But it was just funny to hear her talk about random shit and what's on her mind.
Yeah, I just saw the clips. I'm never gonna tune into a whole episode. I can't.
She was also talking about how she was messing with NBA players while she was still in college too. She didn't say it like as clear as I just said it, but she said it.
So she's been messing with Jalen Duren before her Chicago Sky days. Maybe
Duren, maybe someone else.
Mm.
She made it seem like there are multiple like athletes. You know, like just the way if you were messing with like if she was messing with Jalen Duren from LSU to now, and it's only been him, she would have probably just said athlete or an NBA player. But it seemed like she was saying athletes, ballers, players. Like she was kind of just like talking like she's just been. She got an NFL guy on her roster. She got a baseball guy on her roster. She got a
hockey player.
White boy feeding her lobster and pasta.
What do you action? That's an Action Bronson bar right there. Yeah.
You know, like Angel Reese just made it sound like she's doing her thing. Good for her.
No, speaking of Action Bronson, my shoes came in too. I got the Medusa Azules.
Let's see them.
I got the Medusa. Hold on.
They viewed them. This is the whole point. I always show and tell. I always bring something.
I had the box is pretty cool too.
Let's see the box. This is the Action Bronson unboxing.
Yeah, I got the baklava. You see it?
Oh, should I go eat some baklava while we? I got some baklava.
You got the baklava here. Ugh. And then it got.
Always stay strapped with the baklava. All organic. Look at this, sugar-free, made with sweet agave.
And it came with the bag too.
Okay. I like the bag.
It says New Balance, specializing in life.
Specializing in life. Wow, that's my new quote. I'm going to live by that. I specialize in life.
Specialize in life. And then there was this, well, I took the tag off. There was one of this tag here that was on
Baklava 1906.
Yeah. So I just took that off. I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
And then.
This is some shit.
And you got the shoes here.
Ooh.
The purple laces. The purple laces are fire.
Now those are different.
And it's kind of like, I don't even know what the material kind of feels like mesh kind of. It feels cool. Mm-hmm. It's got Baklava New Balance.
Baklava New Balance.
Baklava New Balance in the sole there. See the bottoms. They're pretty fire. I want to get the Rosewater. Ones next.
Those are fire.
Yeah, the Rosewater more expensive than these ones, so I might have to wait on those. But
those are dope. They're a little bit different than what Action Bronson's been doing lately for shoes. You know, the past couple of years, I feel like he's been doing like more rustic colors. Now he's doing more like vibrant.
Yeah, the ones he's put out this year are really cool. And he's putting out, I think he's supposed to release another pair.
Baklava, anybody?
Sometime.
Baklava?
Yeah, you gotta ship some to me.
I know. Yo, I actually, Rich, this was supposed to come to you, right? So yeah. I had all your stuff, and then I moved some things because I was supposed to bring it to the what Ritchie said me. Ritchie, yeah, I guess Hawk wants some baklava too.
He said me.
I was supposed to bring it to the post office that day. I forgot what happened. I ended up being like, all right, I'll bring it tomorrow. And then I cleaned up my kitchen table where I had everything set up. So I was actually supposed to send you this, which I don't even know if you'll like baklava.
But what is
baklava? It's just like a pastry, but it's like a very sweet pastry. It's sometimes tart.
You like it?
But this one was made with agave and cashew and pistachios.
Do you like it?
Sometimes. It really depends. Sometimes it could be very like thick and syrupy. Sometimes it could be like dry and flaky. It's just all like whatever it is. So I've never had this kind of baklava. they make, like I said, they make it with agave instead of sugar, that's like what they put in tequila and like other things as a natural sweetener. It comes from like Central America, Mexico. I think it comes from like a cactus.
See, but you just have to get the right flavor.
Yeah, you just have to get the right baklava that you like. Some people make it differently. There's different types for sure. I mean, look, you can even see it. There's multiple different kinds to make baklava, different flavors, ways. One's probably raspberry.
I might not even eat it. I just got to keep it.
Yeah, it'd be too sweet. Yeah, Hawk says too sweet for him.
Yeah, I just got to.
And then I found a hat for you. I don't want to say where it's from. I guess I'll have to save it for Christmas.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a cool hat. It's a throwback too. So
yeah, I've been loving these throwbacks. I just got this one, the Spurs one.
What's your hat size?
I don't know. I just get them.
You don't wear fitteds, right? Yeah.
No. And those 47. I like the 47 hitch ones because those all look like throwbacks.
Yeah.
But no, I never really I just buy them. And I like these throwbacks. This was like from the 80s or something. So I got that one. And then I just got a Phillies one that's from like the 60s, the Mike Schmidt days.
The Mike Schmidt. But yeah, I like that's the David Robinson Spurs logo.
Yeah, this one's
fire. When I think of that, that's what I see.
Yeah, this one's fire. I like this one. There was a Hawks one that I wanted to get.
Yeah, it is pretty fire. But yeah, it's a fitted, but I got something for you. I know you'll like it.
I like the throwbacks. It's
an old baseball hat, and it's of a team that we've talked about. But
we just talked about the Red Sox today. It can't be the Red Sox.
It's not the Red Sox, though. It's not the Red Sox.
Pirates. The Pirates hat would be fire.
It's a pirate hat. You know what? You saying that makes me want to show you it. All right, I'll show you it. I'll ruin the surprise because this was supposed to be for your birthday.
All right.
So, I went to the Goodwill about a month ago with my girl, right?
Mm.
So you said it's a Pirates hat. It's funny you said that.
It looks purple.
So it's blue. Hold on, you'll see. Maybe it was a light, just real quick. It looked purple. It's royal blue.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, when I was away at college, I would send you updates because you were playing a lot of baseball.
Yep.
And I was hoping that you would play for the Iowa Western Reavers.
So how did you find an Iowa? What you found an Iowa West? What?
Wait for this. So we go to this little ass fucking, and it's not even a Goodwill. It's a random boutique. It's like the randomest store. Christina wanted to go. They had like Kim Kardashian dresses there. It's like something like that. So it was like more of a girly store. And then they had this random little corner of guys' clothes, dumb small, and then a little hat rack. I walk over, and as I'm walking by, I see World College Baseball or World Series Baseball for college. And that's in Omaha, Nebraska, every single year. So I'm like, no way. I walk over. I'm like, oh, it's a college baseball hat, like a World Series baseball hat for college. Like, I remember going to those 2 years in a row, going to the games because it was fun. It was next to my college campus. It was dope. And the next thing I do, I lift that hat up, and this hat was right below it.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's dope.
Bro, this is clean, too. It doesn't even have a dirt stain, nothing. So this is a player played in this. They donated their college World Series hat and this hat, and it's like damn near brand fucking new.
That's crazy.
And it's in a 7. It's in a 7. I know it'll fit your head because it almost fits my head. Like I could squeeze it on and not even it be too much. And my head's bigger than yours, so I know you fit this.
That's crazy. What are the odds that you go to Iowa Western, you go to California, you go to this store? And you got
Ritchie, this was from my freshman year. This is the logo that changed into the cooler. You know the newer logo, right?
No, I never seen the newer logo.
Oh, well, if you've seen it, let me see.
Well, maybe if I see it, I'll.
Yeah. I'll show you. Here, if you've seen this logo, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right here. So this is the logo that. All my newer, like when I ran track, all my gear was here, like this. This is how the new logo looks. Like, like that.
Oh yeah, now I remember. I remember the new one now.
But
Yeah.
look, this is the old logo.
Yeah, that's crazy. What are
Bro,
the?
so this is from 2014. So this hat remained in pristine, perfect white. Like this white doesn't stay white. You know that.
Right.
Like with any of these hats. Even that hat you're wearing is going to get dusty and shit. I don't know how this literally is a 2014 or earlier hat. This is over 10 years old, clean condition, and this is their uniform one.
Mm-hmm. He must have really something. I don't know. Or he didn't
I don't
play.
know how the unit, bro.
He was a bench warmer.
He was a bench warmer. He must have been. But, like, this is literally the last year, my freshman year, that this was the logo of Iowa Western. And I find it perfect condition, and it's in your size. And I was trying to get you to play for the team the whole time. I'm like, bro, you got to try out. You got to try out for the squad. Because they play in the World Series. They make it every year. They were dumb nice. And you were playing baseball, and you were pitching, killing it. I'm like, bro, you got to try out for Iowa Western. And then you were like, I'm not going to Iowa.
No, that's fire, though.
But yeah, and you were like, yo, was it a Pirates logo? But tell me this logo's dope. I don't care what anybody says.
It was a pirate, though.
It was a pirate. And I'm like, good guess. I got to give it to you.
That's great.
All right. So, let's just jump back. We already know now Caitlin Clark is going to win Rookie of the Year. But Angel Reese, let's give her a kudos. 446 rebounds is the most ever rebounds total in a WNBA season. You know, you could give this a little bit of a clause because this is the first year that there's 40 games in a season.
No, second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
So there's 27 years, I think, 27 or 28 years of the WNBA. There's only 2 that they played 40 games. The others, for the most part, were 34, 32, 28. It's scaled up. So, like Skylar Diggins last night broke Sue Bird's single-season assist record. But Sue Bird retired when it was 32 games a season. This is 40 games a season, and she got it on game 35.
Yeah.
So did she really break Sue Bird's record? You know, she did, but with more games. So it's all relative when you actually look back at it. But still, it's not trying to take too much away from Angel Reese. She did put in the work and got number 1. You don't see no other person. I don't see Asia Wilson. She didn't do that this year.
Yeah, you know? She's rebounds behind her.
She's right. She's a couple rebounds behind her, but still, like, you're getting beat out by a rookie. 26 double-doubles, second most ever in a season, and 5th rookie to average a double-double. So, shout out to Angel Reese. That's big-time shit, regardless of her 25% from the field or things that she needs to work on. She also is a 90 in 2K, which I think is egregious, but shout out to her. She still has had great statistical categories and had a good season. You know, she made the Sky a better team. She brought more life to the WNBA season. She's done a ton of things. You know, she's got to work on her fundamentals, but goddamn, she's showing that she has an elite talent at something. So good for her, and hope she could build on it for next year.
Well, she definitely brought more eyes to the WNBA. That's for sure.
100%.
Whether or not she played well or people like her or not, she's definitely brought eyes and attention to the game.
Yeah, she was rumored to date Kevin Durant. Now she's dating Jalen Duren. She's just out here. No matter what, she's in the news. She's in the headlines.
She's outside.
She's outside, and people know about the W now. So, shout out to Angel Reese. But yeah, now it's officially Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year to win. And yeah, Caitlin Clark's the Rookie of the Year. There's just no argument about it anymore. They broke down her PER, and she's second in the league, even ahead of Nafisa Collier in PER. Asia Wilson's like way above everybody, but
since the Olympic break?
I don't think for the season.
For the whole season?
I think so. I seen something this week that said Caitlin Clark, it was just ahead of Fee. Let's say Fee's at like 34.7 or something, and Caitlin Clark's at like 38, and then Asia Wilson's at like 56. There's a big drop-off between Asia Wilson and the rest of the league. Obviously, she's the MVP, but second place is surprisingly Caitlin Clark, and then Fee is third. And I was like, whoa, because typically, like those specific metrics are really accurate.
Right.
Like, you could follow PER. PER says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, Giannis's MVP season, he's leading the league in PER. And he, like, surpassed, I think, Wilt Chamberlain's PER, I think, that year. And he was damn near almost a unanimous MVP. So, like, PER is a really good stat to track.
Right.
And all of LeBron's MVP years were his best PER years. Like, it is a really consistent metric. Oh, also, we could do this real quick. Shout out to Ivica Zubac. I want to get back to the W. But Ivica Zubac, you know, that's bro. We were trading top shot moments together. We were DMing on Instagram. Ivica Zubac's always the bro. Shout out to him from Montenegro, a small country in Europe.
Well deserved.
What?
Well deserved.
Well deserved. 3 years, $58.6 million extension, like a $60 million, 3 years, so $20 million a year extra for Zubac. Shout out to Zoo. Big Zoo in the house. I believe he was second in rim protection last year behind Gobert. Or was that Walker Kessler?
Pretty impressive.
I don't think it was Kessler. I think it was Zoo. But his rim protection and everything that he does is stellar. I like Zoo. You know, he doesn't try to be a three-point shooter. He doesn't try to dribble between his legs. Like, he knows what he's doing. You know, Zoo just plays to his strengths. And we appreciate that.
Got that little hook shot from 8 or 9 feet away.
Yeah, Zoo's like, he stays in his box, and I love it because he knows his strengths and he doesn't play to his weaknesses. You know, right. So he's gonna stick with that. I think he's got good feet. I like Zoo. You know, he's not the best. He's not going to switch on fucking, Tyrese Maxey and guard him. But I mean, what center is?
Yeah,
realistically, you want Nas Reed switching on him. You want Gobert. You want Miles Turner. I could just start yelling out centers. You want all these guys to guard him? You want Clint Capella to guard Maxey? Nobody could guard Maxey. That's a 5. So don't judge him that he can't guard Maxey. He can't switch on a 1. Nobody can.
Yeah,
Draymond can't even switch on a 1 anymore. It's like,
but Zubac plays his role well.
Yeah, he does. Zubac plays his role. He gets his little smooth 10 and 10 almost every night, 9 and 9. He's awesome. And then you got Jamal Murray, 4-year extension, $208 million, $52 million a year, which is basically what Zubac got 3 years for. 3 years, $58 million, and Jamal Murray gets $52 million a year, so 6 off. But that's a lot. And Jamal Murray is coming off 2 bad performances, like really bad. You know, the Olympics was a really bad showing.
Yeah, it was. He was coming off the bench.
Lou Dort was outscoring him. Dylan Brooks was outscoring him. You name it. Kelly Olynyk was outscoring Jamal Murray. Like,
I don't know what was going on with
it was
him.
a fucking joke. I really couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, Jamal Murray. After watching that, I want to say, who would you rather have, Cam Thomas or Jamal Murray?
Oh my God, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Who's the better shooting guard?
September.
Would you rather give Cam Thomas $200 million or Jamal Murray?
It's September 8th.
It's
September 8th. Stop. I have plenty of time to talk about Cam Thomas when he's hooping with nobody on his team and he's averaging 30. We'll get to it there. We got to see.
Did you see who the scoring title odds?
Cam Thomas could definitely be up there, in all honesty.
FanDuel has Cam Thomas listed 14th in odds. That means he's the 14th best scorer in the NBA. That means he's a top 15 player, right? Is that not crazy? I've been saying this for fucking 5 years, and now he's a top 10 scorer in the league, and everyone called me an idiot, and everyone's saying he's a gunner and he can't hoop. Now he's 14th on the scoring champ list out of, 500 players in the league? He's 14th.
And at least
I was the nut. Now FanDuel's got him 14th in the league.
Yeah, at least FanDuel is showing him some respect. They're finally figuring it out, because that's not that much of a stretch to say he could be the top scorer in the NBA. Who else is really going to score on that team?
No, honestly, I think people are people are underselling Cam Thomas, but the people who are saying he's going to average 30 plus are crazy because Bojan's on the team. And people forget Bojan averaged 20 last year in Detroit.
Yep.
So
went to New York and stunk it up.
But he was a star at Brooklyn.
He played.
This is where Bojan made his name.
Yep.
Granted, that was 8 years ago, and a lot more hair he had on his head. But now you got old Bojan.
Is it really that much more hair?
Right? It's not that much more hair.
I don't even know if it's that much more hair on his head, to be honest.
He was bald like that back then, but he still had the little comb over for going as long as he could.
He was balding at 10 years old.
No bullshit. But yeah, so you got Bojan taking – I mean, he's got – at least he's going to do 14 points a game. You got Cam Johnson there. He just got paid last offseason. I'm guessing he's going to play. You got Dodo plays the 4, so I don't know if he'll exactly take those minutes at the 3.
Well, Nick Claxton.
You got Claxton, Clowney. Claxton will probably get 10 points a game. Cam was finding him on the lob a lot last year at the end.
Yep.
He finally found out how to run a pick and roll and lob it to Clax every time, and they were doing that consistently. I like what they're doing. You know, Schroeder looked great in the Olympics. He always does. And I hope he could come back and still have some of that mojo. Then you got Schroeder and Cam Thomas. You also have the Ben Simmons thing, which I don't want to put any stock in at all.
We got to stop talking about him like he's going to be a piece to anything anymore.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is podcasters are talking about Ben Simmons, but they're not talking about Bojan. So I think Bojan's going to actually do something. People won't even mention him. And I'm like, he averaged 20 last year. Why isn't he a topic? Why isn't he in this? So what I think's actually happening is the Brooklyn Nets are being sold as a tanking team when in reality they're going to be that team that's in the middle doing nothing.
I don't like right now. I think
Claxton is too good. He was a defensive player of the year candidate the past 3 years. You also have Cam Thomas, a budding star. You have Schroeder coming off his best year ever. Really looking like, wait, hold on. Why does he look better than all of these guys when they play not in the NBA for entertainment value, but they're playing for pride and they're playing for their country. And this guy looks better than everybody else.
Right.
So that's a question that I raise. Has Schroeder figured it out? Is there something to his game that he now is like an elite player? His jumper looked great, but the 3-point line in the Olympics is closer.
But
so
also,
there's a lot of this.
He's one of the top options on the Germany squad, so I feel like he's more comfortable in that role, being the number one guy.
But now he's in Brooklyn, and there's no expectation. There's no superstar necessarily to do that. Will he feel empowered? Will he turn into Germany Schroeder and not like NBA Schroeder?
Because I could see him being. I still think Cam Thomas the number one option on the team. I could definitely see him being number 2. He could be number 3 with how good of a scorer and how efficient Bojan Bogdanovic is. But but the other thing is he's had some good seasons. I mean, he's had a lot of good roles. I mean, when Atlanta sucked, he was their best player. He was averaging 17, 18 a game. When he went to OKC, he was really good. When he was with the Lakers, he showed a lot of promise, especially on the defensive side of things too. He was a pet. But just his times with Boston wasn't great. His time with Houston, he didn't really do much. But I mean, he could be a really good player, and maybe he can show a little bit more of that, showcase a little bit more of that with the Nets, and he'll definitely have the opportunity to do so. Right,
and I think they want him to be that point guard too. Plus, the Nets have they got Killian Hayes. I know that's not too much. That's more of a meme, but still, that's like a backup point guard that was starting last year, also for the Pistons. So maybe like the second unit, even if Bojan doesn't start, who knows? Who knows what could really happen? But then you got Killian Hayes and Bojan, who already kind of have some chemistry, already kind of have some scoring to them. They could be a good backup unit. I think they'll be better than they won't be better than too many people. Maybe the Wizards. I think the Wizards are going to be the worst team.
Yeah, the Wizards. That's rough over there.
The Wizards. I don't know if they'll be better than the Raptors. The Raptors seem like they're pretty good. IQ is nasty. You got RJ coming off, a pretty decent run in the Olympics.
Well, he played pretty good in Toronto too.
And he played really good in Toronto. That's his hometown.
Yep. And they've lost.
His brother died last year. I don't know if you remember that, but his brother died as soon as he got traded, basically.
Well, he missed a lot of time.
Yeah. But he played well while he was in Toronto and everything. But yeah, like RJ was going through it last year and still like got better. And I hope this season he's still doing well.
Yeah, I don't see I don't know if I see the Nets even as a play-in team. I gotta see the teams. I gotta look at the teams in front of me. But
yeah, I think they're 19 over under. That's what their over under is right now. 19 wins.
Oh, they can get more than that.
That's what I think.
They can get.
I think 19 is crazy, though they need the tank because next year the draft is loaded.
Yeah, I could see 25. I could see 25 wins for the Nets.
Because you got Dylan Harper in Rutgers, Ron Harper's son, and Ron Harper Jr.'s little brother. You also have Ace Bailey. I don't know if you know who Ace Bailey is, but he's kind of like a Josh Smith type. That's kind of what I've seen from him.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of him? They're both going to Rutgers.
I've heard the name. I haven't watched them, but I've heard the name.
They're both going to Rutgers, though. Nobody goes to Rutgers.
Right.
Also, Rutgers is in New Jersey. The Brooklyn Nets basically kind of have that in their backyard, even though they were the New Jersey Nets, but Brooklyn's close to New Jersey. It's a thing. So, like, you have Rutgers in your backyard. They have no excuse not to recruit these two people or scout them. Not recruit them, scout them. They have no excuse not to scout these two. Also, you have VJ Edgecombe coming in next year, who's looking scary as fuck. You got Cooper Flagg. Yeah, and then you also have DJ Abanza from Brockton. And that kid, I swear to God, that kid is like a Vince Carter, Kobe, Michael Jordan prototype.
Yeah,
you've
been talking about
shooting guard, like a 6'6", 6'7" shooting guard that doesn't give a fuck about anybody. He's just a bucket.
Mm-hmm. Like, you've been talking.
That's the dude. And he's next year. He's the next year. He's behind them. So I believe, I don't know, you got some talent coming up. He could reclassify. I think that's why I still keep him in these conversations. I think technically he could make the jump to the pros next year, but I think he still has another year of eligibility to be an amateur. So I'm not too sure what he'll do.
Right.
But that's a 5 right there. That's crazy because Dylan Harper is a beast. He's like a 6'5" point guard. You got Ace Bailey, who's about 6'10", and he's a small forward, power forward, like a tweener wing. That's why I say he's like a Josh Smith. He shoots threes. The shot doesn't look good, but he shoots them. And he drives to the cup and dunks on everybody. But he's like an athletic wing, big. He's like 6'9". He's built like Josh Smith too. He really looks like him.
Like the game you're saying, it kind of sounds like Josh Smith.
You watch Ace Bailey highlights and just kind of go like this. Go like this so you can't see the fine details. Just squint, and you'll go, that's Josh Smith.
That's Josh Smith right there.
That's Josh Smith. You just got to squint.
He's not in a Hawks uniform, though. What's going on?
Right. So you got a baby Josh Smith, and then you got Dylan Harper, who's kind of just, I don't know what. Maybe he could be a J-Dub type, but I don't really know. He doesn't really look as fast for the defensive side of things. But, yeah, he looks like a combo guard that could kind of do it all. But we'll just see where the shot goes and everything else. Well, I'll have to watch him at Rutgers. All I've seen is high school tape. So I do like to see the next step.
And Rutgers,
so we'll wait and see that.
College basketball, too.
Yeah, I mean, they're typically not a powerhouse at all. Rutgers is typically, like, bad. They used to be good back in the day, like the 80s. In the 90s, Rutgers was a thing, but not anymore. Rutgers hasn't been good for a very long time. If anything, I think NJIT has been getting better recruits than them. The New Jersey Institute of Technology. I know that school was actually stealing Rutgers' recruits and everything else, and they're like a sister school. Right. That was happening like 10 years ago. Like there was this thing like NJIT was stealing all their recruits, and it was funny because Rutgers was the powerhouse, and they're getting stolen by a small school that's like a tech school, like an institute. It's like a smaller, very small college, but they were just getting so much recruits. Anything else? Oh, also in the draft next year is what's his name? The other former NBA player's son.
Oh, I mean, I saw what's his name? I know Elijah Arenas is a class of 2026 is it for high school or for college? I don't know. I've seen his highlights. He looks pretty good. But I know he's one of the top recruits for 2026 for college.
I think he's 2 to 3 years away.
Yeah, I seen 2026, I think. He was like top something.
Oh, and Cam Boozer, I believe, is also in this draft class.
He's really good. I saw him at Hoopall last year.
Yeah, and Cam Boozer's legit. His other brother's decent, but Cam Boozer's like the baller.
Yeah, he won the MVP of that game.
Yeah.
It was him against Bronny.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yep, him against Bronny. I don't think that. Yeah, that who I was talking about, Cam Boozer. So yeah, there's Cam Boozer, big draft class. So it brings the question to me that what's going to happen with the Nets? Are they going to tank this? Like, it almost feels like they should. But in all instances, Detroit has been the number one worst team for the past 3 years, and they got 3 straight fifth picks, right? So as bad as the Nets could go, they could still get a fifth pick. It will be talent. There's still talent in the fifth pick. You just can't pick and choose which talent you'll get.
Right.
So that's one thing. And then the other thing is like, let's say they even try, right? They could still get a good pick. And that's the inverse. You could be the worst team and get the fifth pick, so that means you could be the fifth worst team and get the first pick.
Yeah, they're gonna
right? Like the Hawks. The Hawks last year were not the worst team in the league, but they picked number 1.
Right.
You just got to get lucky in the lottery ball draft. So the Brooklyn Nets, they want to be a bottom 10 team. That's for sure. But will they be the 10th? Or will they be at the bottom? You know what I'm saying? Like, where in that bottom 10 do they go? But I know they're in the bottom 10.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely be a lottery team. I got to look at all the teams and look at all the rosters and stuff, but I think they'll definitely be a lottery team.
And the lottery is the top 14 picks.
Right.
So I believe they're a bottom 10 team. I just don't know where. And the problem is if you're, let's say if it's 1 being the worst, 10th being obviously the highest. So if you're 2, you're down here, you obviously have better odds at a top 5 pick.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're 9, you still have slight odds. So where do they want to be? That's the big question. They don't want to end up with the 8th pick next year. That's going to be a heartbreak to the organization and everything you want to build. If your team gets the 8th pick, you're fucked.
Yeah, they might just
traded everything. You traded Mikal Bridges for first-round picks. You traded those picks that you got from the Knicks to Houston to get your own picks back so you could suck and get your draft pick and be in control of your own pick. So you're supposed to be bad. So what I see coming from this is most likely, even if the Nets start out hot, let's say they have a hot streak, they start out 10-7, something like that. Above 500, they look a little too good. That's when you'll see a Cam Johnson trade. That's when you'll see Dorian Finney-Smith get sent out to some contender. You know what I'm saying? That's when they start really breaking the team apart because they're like, we can't be a 500 team.
Yeah,
like we just blew our team up to get our picks back to suck. We didn't blow our team up to get the 14th pick.
Now they have to get more picks.
Right. Now they have to trade back. They get more picks, which is this endless roll of just being bad. But I think that's kind of what they have to do for a little bit. And I like the fact that Cam Thomas is there, though I don't want him to get all these bad habits. I don't think he'll ever have an opportunity to be the player he could have been anywhere else. Like, you put him on the Celtics, he would have never got off the bench.
Yeah, this is really his
4 years. He would have never got off the bench. But he's damn near a 30-point scorer.
Yeah, this is his time to shine. This is his moment.
Yeah, this is his time to shine. Either he was always going to be a star and he just needed the time, or he doesn't. But we'll see how it goes. Last year, I think, was a good indicator that he's a real player.
Yeah, you don't just average 20 points per game like that. I don't know. And you with inconsistent minutes, with starting some games, coming off the bench some games, not closing out, and still average 20. That's 24. Not. I don't think it's
20. Not 24.
I don't think it's a fluke. Yeah, I
don't.
He
averaged 26 starting.
Yeah, I don't think that's a fluke. I don't think it's a fluke.
Yeah. And, everyone's always like, every time I tell somebody, like, who's your favorite player? I say Cam Thomas. They go, oh, because your name's Cam. I go, I didn't like Cam Johnson. I didn't like Cam Reddish. When he was the top high school player in the country, I didn't like Cam Reddish.
Yeah.
I didn't like Cam Payne. I don't like Cam Boozer is going to be great. But I'm not sitting here caping for him. So I didn't pick Cam Thomas because his name is Cameron. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, my name's Cam. Like, I didn't care that was the thing. Everyone's, oh, blah, blah. He's your namesake, so that's why you pick him. I think it's funny. It's cool that his name is Cam. But if his name was fucking Kent, he could be Kent Thomas. He could be Kirk Thomas. But not the Bulls Kirk Thomas or the Phoenix Suns Kirk Thomas, though. He's chips. Nah, he was a starter on the Suns team for Steve Nash back in the day. But that was the reason why they weren't good. The worst player on their team was Kirk Thomas. You had Amari Stoudemire, you had Sean Marion, you had Raja Bell, you had Leandro Barbosa, and then you were stuck with your big man, Kirk Thomas. And then that's who was guarding Shaq every game. So that was the problem.
All right.
Is you had a can at center, and he would just get kicked all game by Shaq and Yao and Chris Webber and everyone else back in the day. All the other big men that would dominate.
All right.
But yeah, like I don't like him because his name's Cam. So I hope everyone knows that. I like him because of his game. I think it's big time. So that's just where I'm at. It's like you. You don't like Rich Hill. You were roasting Rich Hill.
Yeah, Rich Hill sucks.
See?
Yeah.
But if there was a good Rich, we would root for him.
Gail Goodrich.
Gail Goodrich. Oh my God.
Mm.
Bars.
Bars.
The Goodrich. But yeah, so you can root for Rich Gannon.
Rich Gannon.
Rich Gannon. He was on NFL Street.
He had a really good arm in NFL Street.
Right, he had a good arm.
Pretty
and
good
then
arm.
if you want to get the throwback legend, there's Ken Stabler on that. But
Ken Stabler.
More Riches. Is there? There was a baseball player named Rich. Where was what was his name?
You got Richard Hamilton.
Richard Hamilton? Rip Hamilton? Yep. No, this is who it was. It was on the Rockies, right? Richie Sexton.
I don't even remember him.
You don't remember Richie Sexton? He was nice. As funny as his name is.
There was a what's his name? I think a Richie Ashburn. He was a Hall of Famer.
Richie Ashburn?
Hall of baseball player.
Word. I don't remember that guy. Typically I have a good encyclopedia knowledge.
No,
he said
Richie Ashburn.
Ashburn?
But he might have played in like the 30s or 40s.
Yeah, for the Phillies. Oof. Well, his first name's Don. His middle name was Richie.
Well, they called him Richie Ashburn.
Yeah, Richie Ashburn. Man, I don't know. Damn, Don Ashburn. I'm looking at his Hall of Fame bust right now. Yeah, honestly, I don't remember much of this guy. He slipped one past me. Good one. Rich Ashburn.
Yeah.
I've been to the Hall of Fame plenty, and I feel like I do not remember that guy. Ugh. I'm sweating my ass off, bro. It's like 105 out. I got the AC cranked, and it's not doing anything.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's nice here. Fine.
It's fucking brutal. Well, I mean, I live on the 5th floor, so like heat rises.
Yep.
I'm getting cooked. I'm just leaving my hair out. This hat's too hot. I'm literally trying to wipe my sweat. Can't do it anymore. I'm throwing Dalbec out.
Mm.
I'm cutting him like the Red Sox.
Damn.
He's out of here. Dalbec. Fuck, dude. Dalbec is like from an era that I hate to remember, you know? There's like certain parts of like certain teams that I just hated. You know who pissed me off all the time? Maroney. Lawrence Maroney, our old running back. He was so good at times. Like if you showed a highlight reel of Lawrence Maroney, you'd be like, he was a problem. But then you actually like look back and remember, and you're like, no, he fumbled every time. Like he would just fumble the rock so much. And Belichick, he hates people who fumble, right? Like that's the one thing. He doesn't care if you average 1 yard a carry. Don't drop the rock. That's it. That's the only thing he cares about. And fucking Maroney every time. Maroney gets the ball, and then you just go, Maroney! You hate it every time because it just ends up in someone else's hands. There's a scrum, and then a Baltimore Ravens player just goes like this with the ball. And you're like, no, Maroni.
Maroni.
Oh man, I was talking to another teacher in the room, and I was telling her, the kids make fun of me for my accent like all the time. It's really hard because like they critique me. We were just talking about like language and things and how the kids, because where I teach in my classroom, I now have 26 kids in the class. 24 are Armenian and 2 are Russian, but they speak Armenian. So it's 26 kids in the classroom. But I want you to listen to this part. The English language has 26 letters in the alphabet. The Armenian alphabet has 36. So these kids know 36 letters of one alphabet, 26 letters of the other. That's like 62 letters, right? And they have to be perfect. These kids are like so like they're sticklers. They're sticklers for language because they speak Armenian, and Armenians like it's a very the sounds they make are very like precise, and like I said, 36 alphabet instead of 26. So they make a lot of different sounds than we do and everything else. There's like huks and everything else. There's 10 extra letters and there's 10 extra sounds and everything. So even when they write, it's very precise because the letters of that alphabet you have to be very precise with. And they go to like Armenian school on the weekends and after school and all that shit, right? So these kids pick on my accent because they could hear it. They're like, you don't speak like proper English, So like in a way, they all the time they pick on me. I'll read butter or kitten or mitten or anything like that, and they're like, no, it's butter, mitten, kitten. I say kitten, butter, like with a T, Budder, like butter. I don't know. I just say butter.
Well, that's like.
But I try to like keep my Boston accent in like to a minimum, and I try to do it and speak more, more clearly and use a more professional tone and language. But these kids rip me a new one all the time.
Well, butter sounds normal. Butter sounds
right, butter, but butter, and everybody in LA, they speak so literal. It's very weird.
People in LA say butter.
Yes, they say butter, and like. They really enunciate here. That's one thing about LA that's very funny. They're so stuck on being like proper and like perfect in their English and like everything, but at the same time they like I can't explain it. It's a very weird thing that they're so particular about their language, and then at the same time they're like trying to be very inclusive to other cultures, other languages, and everything else, but then they like shove having perfect English down your throat. A lot of people, like they look at you like sometimes I say stuff, they know I'm not from here. That's just the one thing. Like I feel like over the years I've been trying to speak, I guess, less like I'm from Springfield or Boston or whatever, like have this Northeast accent. And even today, like I feel like my accent is further than it's ever been from being like East Coast and everything, and everyone knows I'm not from here. The second I open my mouth, everyone knows I'm not from here. And it's just funny because I got Armenians correcting my English all the time.
Butter doesn't sound right at all.
It doesn't, but they make sure they pronounce every single letter, and like it's very literal. But also all the other, like the white people here, like American people and stuff, they speak like they try to be perfect to a T. Like they enunciate everything, and it sounds so weird to me. I don't know why. It's just maybe where we're from, nobody enunciates like that, so it throws me off. And then I try to teach. I'm tutoring a third grader on reading things, and we're working on reading, and I don't know. Sometimes I just slip up, I guess, and they're trying to correct me and tell me, no, this is how you say that.
Right.
I'm like, I just talk like that. It's my accent.
Well, butter, mitten, and kitten sounds normal.
Right, butter, mitten, kitten. Like, but we say it more with a D, And because their language is so like to a T, that if you say something with a D instead of a T, it means a different word, you know? So like, that's just the way it is. Like, if you're telling somebody to go, they say, Gunach. You know, like that's not something we have in our language.
Right.
You know, so it's just like that extra whatever. But if you don't say it with the hajoh, it's hajoh. You know, it has to say bye, it's hajoh. Same with money is dram. But if you say dram, D-R-A-M,
different word.
It's a different word, but you say dirham, that means money. But I forgot what dirham means. But dirham is something else. So like everything has to be perfect with this language. There's no slang. There's no shortened words. There's a word for everything. And they don't have homophones either. Like homophones are like a baseball bat and then Batman, you know, like a bat, like an animal. Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as a homophone. And where I tutor at, even our tutors are from Armenia. So like they don't really even speak English like that. And they're helping these kids with their public school work and they don't even know, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of funny, but they didn't know what a homophone was. So I had to teach the tutors and the rest of the class of the students all got a lesson last week, like on Wednesday or Tuesday. The whole class, even the tutors, got a lesson on what a homophone was because none of them knew what it actually meant. And I had to go through this whole thing of teaching what a homophone is. And they're like, no, we don't do that. That's weird. Like, why would you double up on words? You know, they were confused. They were genuinely confused. Mm. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's something about life. It's just funny. But, yeah, I'm getting picked on for my accent.
I don't know how we got on this topic.
I forgot how we got on this topic, but yeah, I don't know. The way I was saying a word, and I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. I can't say it like this. I tried to correct myself. Mm. Yeah, these damn kids want to tell me I don't know how to speak English, so I got to start speaking more properly. You know, instead of I talk proper. You know, I don't know. It's so funny to me, bro. It's so funny. But is there anything else? What else do we got?
We can finish up. We can wrap up with the UFC. We didn't finish that because I think we went on.
Oh, yeah. I did the wrap up while you were missing because I was like, let me just talk about it. Before we jump to UFC, Marina Mabry. All right. Now we can talk UFC.
All right. So you talked about this week's fight card?
Yeah, we could talk about the main event and then, or the main card.
The co-main event, though. Natalia Silva.
That was the best fight of the night.
She's the next one up.
She looked huge next to Andrade. I know Andrade, usually she drops down to 125. She still looks like a tank, but just a little bit smaller. Yeah. But then I'm looking at Silva, and I'm like, wait, Silva looks huge. Yeah, like Silva looks like how Figueiredo looks in 135.
Yeah, Silva was ripped last night.
Like, do you see how Figgy walks in at 135, and you're like, damn, I've never seen a 135er look like that.
Looks healthy.
Yeah, healthy.
Not like 125. He was
not like they just took a weight cut at all. Like full. They look full. And then Silva was out there squaring up, and I'm like, yo, her arms look diesel.
And Andrade, she was swinging for the fences. Every punch she throws, bro. Oh my God.
She connected a few of them, and as I was saying earlier, Silva took some left hooks to the chin. She didn't look wobbled. She looked like she felt it, but she didn't look wobbled. She didn't look hurt.
I thought she kept her chin up a little bit too much against Andrade.
But that's the way she fights, her kickboxing style.
Yeah, I know, but against Andrade, that's really dangerous.
It is, but she survived them all.
She did. And I thought,
is it because Andrade is dropping to 125? And we all know Andrade should never be that light. She's a power girl. She's small. She's shorter. But she's all power. She's a brute. She should be in the bigger weight class.
I think she's just short, though. That's the only thing. She's really short.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's short people. Daniel Cormier was a heavyweight coming from 185. He moved all the way up through his career.
Yeah.
You know, or more of a light heavyweight everyone remembers him as. But he started off, I believe, fighting 185 and finding his way up to heavyweight. And he's not a tall guy by any means. You know, there's people who do that, and Andrade is like the perfect person. She's compact. She's small, but she knows how to put on weight. She's wide. She ain't got power. So I mean, as long as you got power, you can put anybody out.
Yeah, and she can make 115. That's the crazy thing too.
Yeah.
She can make 115.
She can make 115.
Champion at 115.
Yeah. But I'd like to see her more at like 135. Now that she's older and obviously slower,
yeah.
Like I think she'd be better at 135, fighting the bigger girls, because she could also wrestle.
Yep.
That's something you could never take away from Andrade. And usually the bigger the girl, the higher the weight class, the more grappling they do.
Right.
So I think she get down and dirty at 135.
But I think if Silva wins one more fight, she could be in title talks.
She should be. You know who would be a fun fight for her? Now that Valentina's a little bit older, but that would be fun.
If Valentina loses against Grasso?
Yeah, I think Valentina's going to win against Grasso this time.
Yeah.
She stood her opposite stance the whole fight. I think she threw that fight.
Who on the first fight?
Bullet.
Oh, she made that mistake the first fight.
But that's what I'm saying. Did she make a mistake?
Because that was like
that was Vegas. That was Vegas. In my eyes, why would Valentina fight for a championship and switch stances that she's never fought in ever in her life?
I mean, it wasn't like her to make that mistake.
Right. And Grasso's not that. I mean, she's that. She's a champ. She's dope. She's a great fighter. But I still think the Bullet's better than her. Valentina didn't fight the way she normally fights. It's weird. I've never seen her switch stances and stay in that stance the whole time.
But also, I think Santos beat her too. I thought Santos, Talia Santos, when they fought, I thought she lost the first 3 rounds, and then Santos, they got that headbutt, and then Shevchenko was just teeing off on her because Santos couldn't say anything for the 4th and 5th round. But I thought she could have definitely lost the belt.
But my excuse there was you got to win the championship rounds. To beat the champ, you got to beat the champ.
Kind of like the John Jones and Dominic Reyes.
Like the John Jones with Dominic Reyes. Yeah, you could win the first 3 rounds, but if you get lumped up for the last 2 when they're championship rounds, you know what that tells me? Is the next time you fight 5 rounds, you're going to get lumped up again in the later rounds.
That drives me crazy.
That's when you show you're a champ, when you have the cardio to go 25 minutes instead of 15. You know? And Dominic Reyes proved he doesn't have that extra gas tank for the next 2 rounds. He could go as hard as he can for the first 3 and make John Jones look a little bad. But John Jones knew that it was a 5-round fight, and he was saving himself for 5 rounds and not 3. So, yeah, you could look good when you do the math and divide, like, hear this. You could divide 100 in the 3 ways, right? And it's 33.3, 33334, whatever. And then if you divide 100 by 5, that's 20 to 33. So it could look better, but after the 4th one, it's 0 to 20, right? So like that's the way I always do it in my head like that, because that's the way I feel like UFC, and growing up listening to all the commentators and just the way how it is, championship rounds matter. You could be the better guy for the first 3 rounds, but if you get beat the last 2 for the belt, that's different.
Yeah, they're weighted differently.
That's just the way it is. You got to prove it. You got to beat everybody in 3 rounds, and then once you start getting in the contender fights, 5 rounds, you prove that 4 and 5 are something you win too. But if you prove that you can only keep winning 1 through 3, you're not a champion. And that's what happened with Reyes. He proved he could win 1 through 3, but he also proved he can't win 4 through 5, 4 and 5.
Right.
So not a champion.
Not a champion, I guess.
Not a champion. Santos, not a champion. You got to do it. You can't win 4 and 5. You can't wear the belt.
That's crazy.
That's the rules I live by, and it's shown. That's how they judge it.
It's ridiculous. But
it's a ridiculous thought process, because like in baseball, you could say if you won for the first 5 innings, let's say you put up 5 runs the first 5 innings, and then for the next 4 innings, the other team scores 4. You should win the game, right? 5-4. Yeah. But those last 4 innings in a different sport mean a lot more.
Right.
And it is what it is. All right. So I don't think we have any more. This was the funeral of Bobby Dalbec.
The funeral, Bobby.
We'll
who you,
miss you. You were
who do
good to us in 2021.
who do you got next week for the fights? So you got
Oh,
O'Malley.
yeah. Let's wrap up those fights and then we'll end on that. That's what we were supposed to do, and then we got sidetracked when Bob stole you for 10 minutes.
No, my grandpa.
Oh, your grandpa stole you for 10 minutes. All right, here we got. I'll stream it too. Hold on 1 second. Share screen. UFC events. All right. So we'll start off on the prelim. Aldana's on the what?
That's right. And she's a Mexican.
I know, right? This is like a Mexico card.
I feel like Dumont's gonna beat her though.
You think so?
I love Aldana's strike, but I think I'll take Dumont in this.
You'll take Duma? I'll take Aldana. I don't care. I'm taking
I
Aldana.
love Aldana too.
I know you do. Ooh, Bahamondes is fighting. This is going to be a fun card next week. Rosas is fighting.
Yeah, I'll take Rojas. I take Rojas.
Joshua Van, he's going to win this fight. I know that much. But all right, let's go to the main card. Odi Osborne, Rodriguez.
Are you putting Ode Osborne on the main card of this?
I don't know. Over Aldama is crazy.
Over Rojas is crazy with how much they're pushing him.
True, very true.
There's 2 fights that you could put ahead of Ode Osborne. That's crazy.
I actually think Ortega's winning this one.
And he said he wanted to move up to lightweight too. I don't know what he's doing. You're going against your mans?
I know he's going against my mans, but I'm feeling Ortega here. I don't know why.
Pause.
There's just something with their matchup. I don't know if Diego's going to handle the ground game the right way. You know, Ortega's got a lot to deal. Like, I mean, Lopez has a lot to deal with Ortega.
Because Lopez is reckless too.
He's reckless. He goes hard. He goes 100% the whole fight. That's why I like him so much. Him and Bahamondes. I love them both.
Yeah, Bahamondes is nice too.
Like, they're similar fighters to me. They're just these lanky guys that just go out there swinging. Like they're powerhouses, and they're not powerhouses. And that's what's fun because they're going to piece somebody up, come back, reset, go back, piece somebody up again.
Yeah, both of those fights are not going the distance.
No, not at all. Not at all. And then you got Grasso and Bullet. Like I've said, I think Bullet's taking this one, and then she's probably going to lose her belt to Silva. That's what I predict actually happening over the next.
Love to see that happen. So I might have to take Valentina then too.
Yeah, I think the Grasso is bait, even though it's the Mexico day. I'm telling you, Bullet switched stances for the last fight. It didn't make sense. She's faced wrestlers before. She's faced strikers. I've never seen her switch for anything. So I think she's going to go back to her standard stance. Yeah, and we're going to see the Bullet tee off and go and really take this win. And then I'm taking Sugar Sean.
Me too.
You know, something with Marab and the fact that he had ringworm last week.
And then his eye, then his staph infection. He's got, but I feel like he's playing us. He's doing this to mess with everybody or mess with O'Malley, try to get in his head or something. Mm-hmm. Maybe make him think the fight's off or something, or he's not 100%.
Maybe. It could be, you know, but I definitely think he got staph infection.
But do you, yeah, like a lot of guys. But do you think he's better than, you think he's going to do it better than Aljamain did?
No.
You know, he's gonna get knocked out in the first round then.
I don't know. Aljamain looked good for a certain period of time. I think Marab might stay in a little bit longer than Aljamain Sterling, but it doesn't mean that he's going to be as successful. He might just get pieced up for 4 rounds, you know?
Because I think in that first round, I think 2 out of the 3 judges gave that round to Aljamain.
Yeah.
Even though
that's what I'm saying. Aljamain didn't look bad. He got caught. And
I kind of thought it was an early stoppage, to be honest, because I thought he was still kind of moving around. I mean, the first strike was clean. It knocked him down, but I still think they could have kept that fight going.
Yeah.
But obviously, from the referee's perspective, it didn't look great.
I think Aljamain would have been out. I don't think he would have lasted another 30 seconds.
Yeah. I guess we'll never know.
I think the way he got hit and the way he got caught and dropped, I think he would have been off balance. If he let's say Sugar Sean hit him, boom, and then Sugar Sean let him get up for a second. I think if Aljamain would have got up, he would have tilted. He maybe not would have fell and keeled over what's the guy's name? Is it Santos? Who's the guy who got knocked out by the Ghost?
Brother, I thought you were talking about when Sterling got knocked out by.
Who went to the PFL? Who was the guy that went to the PFL?
Oh, Shane Burgos.
Burgos. Like that. I think he wouldn't have fell. He wouldn't have got knocked out Ghost, but he would have been he would have got up and he would have oh shit. He would have been off balance. His equilibrium was messed up. He got fucked up that punch.
He did.
He looked a little more stable when he was laying on the ground, and that's not a good thing. That means you're slumped. He needed to drop to the ground to catch where he was because he got rocked.
Right.
And I think the fight would have been done. I think it could have looked worse, and then people would have said that was a late stoppage.
I think Merab might give him more pressure, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. Because if he comes running after O'Malley, and you know how fast O'Malley's hands are, I think he could sleep him. So I don't know because we know Merab is just relentless. He's gonna go if it takes him 25 minutes, he's gonna go 25 minutes. But Merab
reminds me of how Giga was for a little while. Small guy, amazing cardio, and he's just gonna put output. Even Calvin Kattar had to run for a little bit where he was just an output guy. No matter what, he's going to throw volume.
Yeah, but Merab's going to throw volume and takedowns.
And Merab has a little bit of Gamrot. He's like a mini Gamrot to me.
But I feel like Merab's striking is better than Sterling's too. I don't know if that's saying a lot. I don't know if that's really saying a whole lot.
I don't know. Aljamain's kicks and everything and the angles he would find were really fun.
I don't know. I find
Prime Sterling was really fun.
But I find Merab more dangerous than Sterling on the feet, at least.
Yeah, Merab definitely has a go for the kill instinct to where Sterling kind of just, will sit there and pick you apart and be fine with it.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily great striking either, but I think it's better than Sterling.
He's got a little Duplessis in his striking where it's not pretty.
He's an idiot out there, looking like an idiot out there.
It's not pretty. Sometimes it's just, if he can't find an opening, he's going to make one. Whether it lands, whether it's clean, whether he punches you in the collarbone, he doesn't care. He's just going to throw it.
Yeah, I'll still take O'Malley then. I'm
taking O'Malley because I think Merab's too small.
Yeah, I'll take O'Malley.
He's a 6-footer fighting 135.
Yeah, I'll take O'Malley.
I'm taking O'Malley every time. I'll take the big guy every time.
Right.
Especially when he's got the skill like O'Malley, and he's got the body type to do it somehow. I don't know how you're 6 feet tall and you weigh 135 pounds.
And he doesn't look horrible on the scale either.
Yeah, he never looks too skinny. It never looks weird. If anything, Sean's legs even look big. He doesn't even look like he's got stick legs.
Yeah, he's got
Kamaru Usman looks like he has stick legs at times. Where I've seen him go to the weight cut, and I'm like, God damn, there's no more meat left. There's nothing.
Pause.
And Usman's stacked up top at least. But, there's guys that got these little stick legs, and then you see Sean O'Malley, who's at 135, and he's too big for the weight class, but still he looks like he's got bigger legs.
Right. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it is. I don't know how Sean weighs in at 135. They must have took out his liver or something. He must be missing organs. Yeah, there's no way he weighs 135.
They took out a kidney.
Yeah, they took out a kidney. And he has all the hair. And he still doesn't weigh, hit over the limit at 135.
Right. Vegas, something going on there.
Something going on. They're messing with the scale.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. I don't think we have anything else left for you, but we left it all out there on the field. Every week, you get the best of the best from Too Generic. We out here, blood, sweat, and tears. It was so damn hot working up a sweat, I threw off my hat. Look at this. I'd be glistening if I wasn't wiping sweat. We're leaving it all out on the field for y'all. I hope you appreciate. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. And we'll be back next Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific time or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, much love to y'all. Rich, any last words?
Adios.
Adios, and on to Mexico Heritage Night for next week. Hasta la vista, baby.